Hello, hello, everybody. I'm super excited. Today, I wanted to talk about the journey of radically loving yourself and your creativity because it's Friday, and Friday is Venus Day, and Venus Day is all about self-love. And we were talking, StreamYard, I don't care. We were talking last night in Z School for the Gifted, about what everybody, oh my goodness, come on, just let it go. Let it go. Um, we were talking about how everyone was taking care of themselves. It was like everybody was in the same energy. Folks had new hair do's, like different clothes on, were liberated, like all these amazing things. And some folks were leaning into their creativity, making music, painting, showing up in a more authentic way, dancing, like all this stuff. And, our conversation really just inspired me to share more about how you can journey into radically loving yourself and your creativity. And before I got on this live, I was actually recording a new song and I'm really excited. It's called When I Met You in the Rain. And it feels so good. Like if you're tapping into the energy right now for this Leo new moon, it's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a well of newness, a well of empowerment, um, and a great time to also work with Shango. Shango is so powerful when it comes to putting yourself out there, and I can't wait to share that with y'all. Also, I had some fun things that I wanted to announce. If you haven't seen any of my posts yet, I'm going to be launching the first chapter of the Mango Manifestations or the Mango Men and Other Manifestations on Substack. So if you're not subscribed, you definitely need to be. So head over to my link tree. I believe it's in the description. Subscribe, and you're going to have the text and the audio since I will be also making it into like a mini podcast for everybody to enjoy. And then I'm gonna also have a little spin-off a little later, that is going to be for members only, and it's gonna be the raunch version. So I'm really excited for that. For anybody tuning in, feel free to say hi. This is going to be a relatively short live, but um I will say that with all the clients that I worked with in terms of journeying to radically love yourself and your creativity, there's always a flow. There's always a flow. There's the beginning stage of I feel like there's this energy within me, within my body, and that spirit is like calling me on this new path to like really be myself, but I'm not quite sure how to do it. And then there's this like door opens to all of these sparks, but there's not a foundation of confidence there yet. And we spend some time building it, and how we do that is really creating safety for yourself. So if you are on a journey of learning how to radically love yourself and your creativity, whether you're a singer, a writer, dancer, like whatever it is, spiritual person, you're psychic, you're a medium, folks have been scared of you before because of how gifted you are. um, I really invite you to ensure that you are constantly creating safety for yourself so that you can safely express who you are. We talked about expression on the last live and how important it is to be able to feel that emotion of belonging because you have a place in the world. And when people are oppressed for a very long time and they're not allowed to express themselves, there is a huge like disassociation from the world, and that's when we actually start to see people leave this beautiful space. And so that's another thing. Like I always encourage people, if your community right now does not reflect the types of personalities that you are wanting for yourself, or the types of conversations and space that needs to be held for you, I would cut those ties. And I feel like sometimes when I have conversations with people, there's a hesitancy to really do that for themselves, and what that really means, like, should I X, Y, and Z? And I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and sometimes having relationships in your life is not always going to be best for you depending on what phase you are in. And sometimes you need to not have as many connections for a small amount of time so that you can redefine what it is that you're looking for or that feels most supportive for you once you are able to create that container of safety. And something that I had asked them when they were deciding on whether or not they really wanted to stay connected to someone was what do you want, right? Like what do you want? And you can ask yourself the same thing. If you're sitting there like I just feel like I don't have the community or the folks that I desire to support me right now, ask yourself what it is that you want. What does it look like? How would those friends and community really move? And it's okay too if you're like I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure because I haven't seen it before. That happens too, right? I'm not really sure what a healthy love looks like. I'm not really sure what a balanced lifestyle looks like. I'm not really sure what I'm feeling. Allow yourself to take a journey. That's why I say the journey of radically loving yourself and your creativity. Um, and be a part of different communities so that you can start to observe and see if that's something you want to be a part of. And spirit and your ancestors will naturally guide you to these places where you can try something new, right? Try a new dance class, go to a singing class, go to a community center, and just give it a whirl. Like put yourself out there. And if you're like, nope, not for me, right? You'll know. And maybe sometimes you got to go a couple times or for a month or so to see if it really is for you so you can get past the discomfort of it being new and accessible to you. But that safety within your community is going to be so huge for how you express your creativity. Um, and again, I invite you to write it down, especially because we are still in the energy of the new moon. So, what you are desiring needs to be written down so that your energy can flow to it right now. Not like do not put it on the back burner. Do not put it on the back burner. I was telling the class last night in Z School for the Gifted, which everyone's welcome to come. It's Wednesdays and Thursdays. And I was encouraging them to like take bold action, take really, really bold action right now, whether that means like goodbye to these people, I'm moving, I'm done with this, I'm finally making that song, I'm like putting myself out there, I'm buying, like be very decisive right now. And over the next 24 hours to maybe like almost 48 hours so that the universe can confirm things back to you because we are leading into Lionsgate, which is a ginormous portal, and the energy that you put into your manifestations today and through Lionsgate is going to change the next 6 months of your life, 6 months astrologically. So if you are still sitting at home, looking at your creative things and like dreaming about how you want to have this life, how is it that you are going to attain that life, right? Like, how are you going to be in those movies if you're not acting, if you are not putting yourself out there? How are you going to be in that amazing art museum or hold your own art shows if you're not making art every day, if you're not posting about it, if you're not going out and talking to people and asking them how you can get into a show, right? Like you have to be proactive and plant these seeds because once you do that, and it's your destined path, like the universe will automatically respond to you and help you get where you need to be. But um it like again, just don't put it on the back burner and open yourself up to the possibilities of a new life and surrendering to the universe, right? Once you have that safety in your community is going to also reflect back to you the type of love that you put out into the world. So if you are showing them how much you love them and how much you care for them, they're also going to do the same for you. And if you are diving into your creativity, they're going to do the same, and you can collectively help each other out. And move forward with your dreams and whatnot. So don't be afraid right now to cut the cords, to start over, to um to really be free. I'm hoping that my audio is working because sometimes this mic doesn't always work, but I think it should be. Yeah. Okay, good. Oh, it's on the iPad, whatever. Um, but um Yeah, I'm just really excited. And today I also launched for the community the love and magnetism class, since divine unions and folks have really been asking me about gender and how it relates to spirituality and church hurt and many many things, and dynamics within family members, and exploring new parts of themselves, which your gender identity or sexuality is highly attached to your creativity as well. If one of them is blocked, the other one's blocked, because they both come out of the same chakra, and they go hand in hand. So doing your healing with your physical body and how you show up in the world or want to show up in the world, and how you connect with other people, right? Like that's really what your sexuality is, how you connect with other people, even if it's not physical contact, like energetically. That's also included. But we have a very Western view on what sexuality means right now, especially in the US. So know that that space is going to be open for all of you. And then the Divine Academy actually drops tomorrow, which I'm super, super excited about. So you can have all the classes in there to build your business, which is Magic to Market, Z School for the Gifted, which is all spirituality, manifestation, using your gifts, becoming a seer, like all sorts of things. Like it's wild. Next week, I'm guiding them into doing like an intro to mirror work. So if you're curious about mirror work, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to transition them into the astral. We're going to be doing the practice actually laying in bed, or first kind of sitting up in bed, and you're going to have your mirror and whatnot. I'm going to teach you and then guide you. And then the call is going to end with you like heading to sleep. So it's going to be, it's going to be quite the call. Again, the link is going to be in the description. And, the Divine Academy also comes with two one-on-one sessions that you can use, and it's 555 monthly. So it's a group program, and then you also have a private chat for Z School for the Gifted, which you will also be a part of, so you can cheer each other on. I'll be messaging folks in there as well. And then you have the option to add Telegram. If you're already a part of Z School for the Gifted, you get the Text a Friend VIP Telegram package the first month for free. So now is the perfect time for you to take advantage of that if you are leaning into your creativity, because it affects every aspect of your life. And when you start to really heal who you are as a person and your spirituality, right? You can hear spirit, you can hear your ancestors, you can do your generational healing. Our gifts are divine, they come from spirit. So if you're not connecting those two, it's going to be very hard to follow through. And we talk about following through in food and herbalism and things like that. And I'm going to also have some classes coming on herbalism and candlework in August. Um, but it makes it so much easier. And then being able to connect with people is also going to help your creativity, so you don't feel so isolated in the world. A lot of times when you go through a spiritual awakening, it can feel very isolating because you do take a step back um, from your usual community, so that you can see who you are in your fullest capacity. And sometimes they can hurt, and sometimes it's divinely orchestrated, and sometimes you're there so long that you get stuck there. And then stepping back into the spotlight can be quite difficult, and experiencing all that pain can also keep you from sharing your gifts and trusting that it'll be well received. So know that you are all going to be in great hands. This is something that I specialize in, and being able to witness the community in Z School for the Gifted really step into the spotlight powerfully, um, and it just chase their dreams with spirit and the universe and their ancestors and their guides just right there, and their gifts just opening up and things being easy for them, um, is confirmation, hopefully for you, that it is completely possible. And it's the whole reason why I also share my journey as much as I can, because For a long time, I also lived, like many of you, in a space where I was heavily connected just to the 3D realm, but that has never served me. And I made my escape, as you can say, and now help others do the same. And it's how I've gotten all these opportunities all of the time, and how I've been able to successfully support myself, and been given the gift of YouTube to help more people because I asked Spirit for that. And that I know there's so many more creatives and healers out there in the world that are ready to be seen, and the world needs you right now. There's so much chaos and war in the world, and so the frequency of love and tenderness and wholeness and identity, and community needs to rise a lot faster than it's rising right now. And so if you need help to be in that energy and finally take that path, I highly recommend you join the Divine Academy. It's a lot of fun. And or even if you just want to start with Z School for the Gifted, you can book a consultation, whatever you want. It's in the description. Again, the Divine Academy is 555, and it includes all of the Z's classes and one-to-one coaching as well. So basically giving it away, giving it away at this point, to really make sure that folks are okay. And then I'm also going to be dropping a really cool special with text tarot, so that from now through Lionsgate, you have access to divine messages for yourself, to navigate this stage of your life. But know that, journeying to radically loving yourself, it takes time, but at some point you have to ask yourself if you're actually ready to commit. Loving yourself is not always easy. Making the decisions to love yourself are is not always easy. It feels quite unnatural for the longest time. And you have to grieve. Hello, Shani. Oh, hello, divine goddess. It's so great to see you. How are you? Um, when you're on the journey to loving yourself, you do also have to make time to grieve, and to be gentle, to find comfort in discomfort, and also just know there's no right way of doing it. But I will say that it is easier when you do it in a community and with people who know what they are doing, like myself. And I know some folks had also asked if I was going to bring back the grieving class, the session, and I will be doing that. I did bring back My Body, My Choice. That is now going to be monthly. I might do twice a month. I haven't really decided, but that link is available to you. So you can just book that from Linktree if you want to work on, your menstrual cycle and having pain-free periods and whatnot. But again, it's a part of your self-care. And then there's the Ayurvedic stuff. But you have to begin somewhere. You have to begin somewhere. And if you're living your life and you feel like not enough is changing for you, it means you haven't quite done the thing that is going to be the catalyst to help you get up, like finally get up and move, finally get up and manifest the life that you are wanting. And that's when people like me come in. That's where people like me come in, to be the guide, to help you hold space for yourself, and to give you those breakthroughs and divine messages, and healing energetically, and teach you how to heal yourself and give you the tools to equip you to create the change that you are wanting, right? Because we have to always ask ourselves, like, if I'm feeling stagnant right now, clearly the things that I'm doing are no longer working, and so I'm naturally expanding, and so I need to try something different. So how can I do that? What does that really look like for me? Maybe I should start asking questions, right? um so I really wanted to share that with you all. Let's see what Shani says. Shawnee, I'm wonderful. Just eating breakfast before I head to the shop. Yay. Yes, I want to do the grieving class. Okay, awesome. There's so many stages of grief, especially when I am grieving people that are living. Yeah, okay, so another confirmation that I'll bring that back. I'm just gonna bring everything back because everybody seems to be asking for it. And I'm also making a calendar so people know what's on what date, because I know there's a lot of resources. But that's so true, right? Grieving. does not just have to happen when there are people who are living. Grief can definitely happen, and grieving needs to happen when folks are still alive. And it's also, I highly recommend, hold on, I'm gonna drink some tea. I highly recommend having a really solid grieving practice in your toolkit that you can always turn to, at least a couple, because there's so many moments in your life that we or you are going to need to grieve, that we need to grieve, but we don't realize that we need to, right? Like, even, being in a relationship, or maybe someone rejects you, or you feel that feeling of rejection, and you got to ask yourself, like, why does it hurt so much? Like, there isn't this limp, I can't stand. um you really have to ask yourself, um like, what expectation did I have for myself, and what do I need to grieve, right? Or it's like, maybe you really wanted that place, or maybe you really wanted that opportunity, or you really wanted to talk to that person, but it just didn't work out for you. Or maybe you're celebrating your birthday, and it also didn't work out, right? Like, or it didn't go the way you were wanting, or something happened, right? And so we have to be able to take those moments, and say, like, oh, I'm feeling hurt. It's anytime you feel hurt, you should have a grief session, right? That's how you alchemize the energy, so that it doesn't change into resentment, so that it doesn't change into hate, it doesn't change into to greed, because that happens a lot, right? When people are so um hurt inside, they become quite spiteful, and they become quite greedy with their money as well, like, I want to keep this, and I want to keep that. Nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves my time. They start, like, pulling back quite hard, but it's like, that's not really what you mean. You're just still experiencing hurt, and you need to grieve what you are feeling right now. It is still safe to be seen and to experience community. It's just, you have to let go of the pain you are feeling in order to feel that. Hi, Claire. Hello, Z and Shani. I find myself grieving my old beliefs as well, my previous ideas about reality and myself. Yeah, it's also super common this last, like, week and a half. It's in the energy, because you need to step forward with power. Last night we did a meditation of walking through that door, right? Finally walking through that door and shutting the past out, um and taking action. So if there's people that you need to remove from your life, or ideas or beliefs, I highly recommend you release them today, um because the energy is there for you to release them. But those old mentalities, and the old reality is gone, it's dead. That's what I tell myself. Oh, it's gone, it's dead, bye. um but it's okay to say bye. It's okay to write a letter to yourself. It's okay to burn it. It's okay to cry. It's okay to say, like, thank you for giving me the opportunity to know myself more fully up until now. And now I'm gonna let you go, because I don't need you anymore. I've got new me. I've got new me. New me. Um, I am in a whirlwind of change. Oh, please do share. Everybody share their change. Claire, I had a feeling I was thinking about you yesterday. I was like, how is that ascended lady? Ascended ma'am. Femme, sorry. Um, okay, so I have no friends, but I know here I will be celebrated. I took my power back from my hurt mother-in-law. Yep. And nurtured my inner child like I actually did it. They run from me now. I love that you did that for yourself. Yeah, you have to take your power back, and protect your inner child. You're the only person that's going to be able to do that. Um, right? Like, and mother-in-laws sometimes are not the best. I've definitely experienced um a lot of hurt from mother-in-law before, and it's like that feeling of obligation too, when you're healing through it. And it's in some situations, it's like, did I just become a punching bag? Why do I have to? And then people are like, well, you're family. No, we are not. No, we are not. Family doesn't do that. Family doesn't do that. I'm so happy that you chose yourself. And yeah, there's gonna be periods where you don't have friends. That's totally fine. The divine and your ancestors are your friends. Where are your friends? Where are your friends? I miss you all so much. I'm happy with Lady and anytime, to be honest. Okay, good. I didn't really ask you. So thanks for clarifying and being so patient. I appreciate it. Um, I'm glad your rebellious synergy is doing its thing. I'm doing good today. LOL. Yeah, see, we miss you in the class, Claire. Come next week. We're doing mirror work. For anybody who's just tuning in, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. We are doing, I'm over this mic. Anybody else? I like would want to slap it, but I'm not going to do that. Um, Next week we're doing mirror work, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to step into the spiritual realm, and it's going to be very powerful. People are probably going to see things. I'm excited. I'm very excited. You may not remember, but you shared your story and it helped me so much. So thank you for your transparency. I've been taking care of little me. Oh, yay! I'm so glad that that was helpful. See, this is like a huge example of why we always need to share our stories, because you just never know, right? You just never know who it's gonna help, when it's gonna help, why it helps, who's gonna hear it. Um, you just gotta keep going. Even if you woke up that day and you're like, I got something to say. Say the thing. I just ordered my mirror today. Yay! I'm so excited. Yay, yay, yay. The change has been with car, partner, phone still broken, lost housing, got new housing, partner lost job, but it's all perfect. All shedding the toxic relationship and moving into new, healthy, um, I will be there for mirror work. Yay! Changing work schedule for Z school. Yes! Yes, prioritize yourself. You need to be here. I'm just gonna say that. You need to be here. I can feel your energy. That's why I was checking in on you. And when I added you to the group, I was like, I'm just gonna just take Claire and put them into the little pocket over here. Just gonna deliver you straight to your home. Um, that's a lot. It's a lot that you're going through right now, and I know that this path is not easy. It's not easy. You keep going. And I know we've talked about why you're on that path and what happens, right? Usually when that happens all at one time, it's an ascension, but it doesn't always feel that way. Um, your energy feels like you are moving through it. You do have a little bit of energy that you need to grieve a little bit more in your belly. Um, but I'm really proud of you. And I know you've been working really closely with the Ascended Masters, and I can still see them around you, around you. Um, so just lean in as much as you can. Um, yeah, and just feel as much gratitude as you can. There's a lot of change, right? Like it's the scales will balance. Like if there's things that spirit needs us to take care of, spirit will handle it for us if we can't quite see what it is, right? And then we find that gratitude in um being helped, even if it's not in the way we were expecting. Oh, I feel it. Yay. Yeah, you are so loved. Everybody's wanting to see your face back in there, Claire. And anybody else, again, feel free to come join Z School for the Gifted, the Divine Academy. Well, the Divine Academy right now is open for Z School for the Gifted. It dropped today, and then it'll be open to the public tomorrow. Actually, it might be tonight. I don't remember. Um, but yeah, it's a great, great, great place to be. And I will be bringing back that grief class so we can spend some time releasing and just letting go. Like having scheduled grief is great. It's great. It's so great. You need it. I was feeling it the other day as well. I had decided something and I just needed to grieve. And so I went to the water and I put my suit on. But before that, I'd exercise because I felt like, like right before you grieve, there's this push of energy. And sometimes you need to like get all the energy out so then you can get to the emotions, the water energy, right? You have to move the fire out to get to the water so you can get to the earth. And I ran really far and then I was like, "Oh, I'm sad." I was like, "Oh, I'm sad." I put my suit on, laid in the sun like a starfish, in the sand and just was like letting it all come out. I was like, "Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you." Um, and as usual, the little doggies that are all around running through the woods always come by and like lick my arm or bop me or like do all the things and I was like, "It's so great to see you. It's so great to see you." Then jumped in the water, cleared it all out, and felt better. And then I went and I went and took a nap. So you just gotta really go with the flow. Today is a better day, and I've been going through a lot of ego deaths, but I'm currently in the present, processing things and letting things go, not as healed as I thought. Yeah, I mean, yeah, keep going through it. That's always going to happen when you're about to ascend or you begin your generational healing and you start having those breakthroughs. There's an ego death right after it. There's always an ego death right after it, but people forget about that. People forget about that. And again, I like Benita likes to say more than worthy is like a series of ego deaths. I feel like that's always going to stick with me. That's always going to stick with me because that's what happens when you heal. And they mentioned on the live when she was talking about her journey in More Than Worthy and how she thought she was way more healed. Um, but then she went into More Than Worthy and gave herself permission to like fully open up as I held the container for her and she allowed herself to experience those tender parts, the grieving that needed to happen and all of the joy and all of the newness and then the grieving and then all of the joy, right? Because you're releasing and then all the stuff can come forward and then you're releasing and all the stuff can come forward until you get to a point where you're like, oh, I can navigate life again. I can feel better again. Look at all those hearts. I oscillate between being quiet and reserved and talkative and oversharing. Any advice on balancing this? I seriously could use temperance. What are you doing for your grounding practices? Honestly, like I feel like it's okay to be quiet and reserved and talkative and oversharing. That's fine. I honestly feel like we need to normalize that and realize that every day is different, especially when you're in the spiritual space. But if you are feeling that it feels emotionally like up and down and you don't like that feeling and you want to be more grounded, then I would focus on your grounding practices. And if you are feeling uncomfortable about that like oscillating feeling, um what is it about that makes you feel uncomfortable? Is it like a fear of how you might be perceived, or just you want a foundation and you want to feel more stable? Like, is it triggering emotions in you? Um, yeah, yes, it's definitely grief. Yeah, it's time to grieve, everybody. It's time to grieve, everybody. So, just more confirmation. I will bring that class back. I will bring it back. It's usually like 2 hours ish. Um, and we do some deep grieving, some reflection, some sharing, some healing and meditation, moving the body. It's a really, really great time. It's a calming time. Very, very calming time. And for anybody who's experienced Z School for the Gifted, it's basically taking the last part of Z School for the Gifted and doing it for like 2 hours, right? Because the end of Z School for the Gifted, I'm usually teaching a new concept or helping you heal, giving you that growth, that breakthrough, that generational healing. So, Z School for the Gifted is not just where you come and work on your spirituality, there's always a theme now. And so last night was Leo New Moon, and so there's a section on shadow work specifically, and then there were questions on growth. And we also did a candle meditation to kind of kick that off. And And so you're welcome to come to that too, but I will definitely bring the grief session back. It's more like a community circle. And also, I'm just really excited for a surprise that's coming in August because I just, um, Spirit has been planting it in my heart to maybe do some retreats. And I feel like it's time to bring it back. It's that season. And I had originally once planned a retreat during Lionsgate, and I think it would be great if we can all get together. I think it would be great. Oh, I called my mommy and I told her happy birthday. We had a very short conversation. LOL. I've decided to give her space to initiate the conversation because we didn't even exchange I love yous at the end. That's fair. For the conversation, she told me bye and I said peace. I went straight into meditation afterwards, dropped a few tears. There is still anger there that she didn't acknowledge it, but I also understand, at least with love, I realize we all are on different paths and journeys. Yeah. I, as long as you are feeling good with that decision, you know what I mean? And I'm glad you went straight into meditation and did that release. If you feel like in the next couple of days, like it's not resolved and it keeps coming to the forefront, that's when you would decide, if you want to have that conversation, regardless, because of your own peace. So I'm glad that you are releasing it and accepting it, but do pay attention to if it centers itself again. Um, so that way you can spend some time healing and asking yourself, right? If because also sometimes, even if we let go, our mind and our body will tell us if we need to say something. If we need to say something, because saying that something can really allow us to do the final step of grieving, right? Saying our piece, articulating, or even if I can't remember, I think you've done this before, but even if you want to write it down or say it out loud into the mirror, um, as if you are telling them so it can at least come out of your body. I think I'm too truthful and it throws people off. Then I'm quiet and it throws people off. It may be my Chiron and Gemini. So what is making you uncomfortable though? So if even if you are being truthful and it throws people off, it doesn't really matter what they think. So what is it about you wanting to balance that out? Like, is the desire from you or is the desire from how you are being perceived? Because even if, I mean, it doesn't matter how truthful you are, right? And it doesn't matter astrological placements or anything like that. What matters is what are you wanting? Do you want to feel more comfortable in how you articulate yourself? Is that your desire? Or are you only wanting to feel balanced because of how you are being perceived at the moment, right? So, yeah, which one are you wanting? And then I can help with that. That sounds dope. Hi, it's so great to see you. Got out of the dentist and saw you were live. A lot of people have been going to the dentist. You're like the sixth person in the last 2 days. Maybe I need to go to the dentist. Everybody go to the dentist. So I thought I'd hop in and listen while I'm driving to the river. Yay! Gonna use a float to go down. I love that. I've always done in a raft. Should be amazing. I love the river. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad like you are taking care of yourself so 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 much. It makes me so happy to hear. Um yeah, we were just talking about grief and um, honoring our own paths. And today is Friday, Venus Day, Love Day, self-love, loving yourself and your creativity, which can include your spirituality and, your boundaries and how you identify who you are as a person. Hi, Aubrey. Um, and so you taking the time to float down the river is amazing. And I was just talking about the river. The river is so healing, especially because of its movement, just like the ocean. It's very good to clear lots of energies, even if you don't have a lot of time to be there. Like sometimes my schedule is back to back, but I will like run to the river or some sort of body of water and like put myself into it, and then jump right back out and get back. I definitely have gone to coffee shops with a wet bathing suit on. Like I had to do it. I had to do it. But yeah, like Emerald Dream, I feel like maybe it's not something you need to really worry about. But again, I would journal with it, you know. People are going to perceive us in whatever way they choose to. And honestly, um, the right people will always find you. And I used to think the same thing. And then I started to get friends that would match my energy, fully match it. And they don't care. They don't care if like one day I'm like blah 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 blah, and then the next day they're like I'm like sending a flower emoji, and that's all the energy I've got that day, or I'm just not saying anything, and they love me just the same, and I love them just the same. And sometimes, I get a million questions from my friend when she's in that energy of like whoa, and then I'm like I'm gonna ground myself, and she's like you can respond whenever you want to. I'm asking a million questions. I'm like thank you, right? Like the right people will always find you, no matter what. So but again, if you want the balance, like let me know your grounding practices that you do every day. Today is the fourth anniversary of my best friend's passing. She would love I'm doing this today. That's amazing. I'm glad you are honoring honoring them. Um, it's 2025. Oh, they passed in 2021. Um, it's interesting. My friend's passing is also coming up. So I'm glad that you are taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself and have fun in their honor. What was their name, may I ask? Hi, Dee. I desire to not kill the vibe when I speak. I've always been factual, and it just seems to make people feel like I have to be extra performative. I feel like I make people feel dumb, but it's not my intent. It's not the people to hang out with. End of story. End of story. Um, if you desire having a relationship with the people who make you feel that way, like, and if you say you kill the vibe, are they telling you that, or is that just how you feel about it? Like, have you asked them, like, did I just kill the vibe? Like, have you had that conversation with them? Um, because my biggest thing is like, anytime I feel like I have to change who I am, and they're not for me. They're not for me whatsoever. Lori, oh, sending Lori lots of love. You're gonna have so much fun today. I hope Lori is out there dancing around in a butterfly as you're out and about enjoying yourself. Losing a friend can be really difficult. I lost my best friend unexpectedly, and it was one of the hardest things in my life actually. Um And I didn't know how gifted I was back then, but I had a feeling that she was really, really sick. And I was worried she had a tumor, and so was my other friend, but she wouldn't get help. But she was also in a very, very, very abusive relationship. I didn't realize how abusive it was until the end, towards the end, and what, you know, he would really do to her. And she was such a happy person. Like I never saw her mad. She like loved life, um, and was so giggly. And I wouldn't have guessed it, but like sometimes I could see in their interactions when he would come around and just like you can feel people's energy. And I had I was texting her something, and I was telling her because she was walking home. And I was telling her to get home safe because it was at nighttime and she was by herself. I just had this bad feeling like like something was gonna happen, and she ended up having an aneurysm, and then she hit her head on the sidewalk, and then she didn't wake up after that. And it was so sad. And then I found out that I was really gifted, because of what had happened to her. And then that night, because I didn't know what happened, um, but I had a dream about her, and she was saying goodbye and all these things. I was like, "What is happening? I just talked to you." And then my other friend, called me the next day to tell me what was going on, and it's so heartbreaking. And That's why grieving is so important. It's so important because sometimes you never know what's gonna happen. And I know immediately it was really hard for me. And then like the month before it, I'd also lost a lot of other relatives. It was just like a big energy clearing. You know how sometimes that happens and then folks start passing away. Um, and it was again like one of the hardest things I had gone through. And I had realized in that moment, that was actually when I started my first grieving practice because I was like, I have to get this out of my body and I don't want to remember any of these people with the pain that they had. I don't want to remember any of them like that. I want to remember them happy and filled with love, and I want to feel love again, and I don't want to feel anger, and I don't want to feel regret. I don't want to feel like, oh, I should have been there, right? Um, and I didn't want to go through all of them. It's like the memory ping-ponging back and forth of like going in the past and then being in the present and going in the past and then being in the present. Um, and that's the power of grieving when you can let go and find like true acceptance and love for your situation, but the energy has to go somewhere. Your brain has to chemically also change and stop that cycle. And that's what grieving does. It helps you release that cycle. And usually when you're in that energy of like, I just feel like something needs to come up, it's because your brain like can't complete the loop. It doesn't have closure. Um, and so finding that closure spiritually, mentally, physically is useful all at the same time, right? Some people just do, oh, I'm going to do it physically and just say something, but then forget their emotions and the spiritual aspect and like all those things. But you have to do all of them. I feel like I desire to share my unfiltered creativity. Excuse me. Hold on. When I share, people get triggered and want to compete with me. Sending peace for all the people who have had a friend that passed. Thanks, Dee. Yeah, it's okay. It happens. It's happened to me my entire life. Um, I mean, the only thing that's going to change that is when you get comfortable in your self-worth. When your self-worth is not as strong as it needs to be, it makes it hard to be unfiltered with your creativity because you care about what other people think. That's why it's filtered, right? You sit with the lens on because you're worried about triggering other people, but who gives a shit? Right? Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. Be who you want to be. You can either choose to be like they're still controlling you. So you can either choose to let go and not care what they think and choose to live your life, or you can choose to live with a filter on and never show the world and yourself like who you are, right? It's no way of living. It's no way of living. Howdy, Athena. That story resonates with me so much, even the gifts, because one night Lori and I were doing mushrooms on the full moon at the beach, and the next day she was gone. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's wild. I will say, like also what a gift to be able to like be with them right before they pass. It's like our souls kind of know um when someone is leaving, and like you can have that really beautiful moment with them, and even if you're not sure what's going to happen, it's like you still get to say goodbye in some way, shape, or form. Even if you didn't get to fully say goodbye, you have that memory of them. And today I know so much more than I did then. In the past 4 years have been such an awakening. Yeah, I bet. I feel like I can smell your tea. Is there lemon and something fruity and honey? Yeah. Yeah. See? Shawnee goes to Z School for the Gifted. I'm loving everybody's gifts lately. Everyone's so fucking powerful. Yeah, I'm having lemon balm um with honey, and it had like a little bit of peach, like dried peach stuff in the little thing that I had. Um and so it's kind of fruity with honey. And I never have honey, but I was recording a song today, so I had some manuka honey. Do you want to hear part of my song? It's fun. Anybody want to hear it? Anybody want to hear it? I'm not done with it yet. I'll probably be done with it today. Y'all let me know. It's done. Oh, I'm so proud of everybody in Z School for the Gifted. It's dope. I'm telling you, if y'all are not in the school with this community, like y'all are missing out. Y'all are missing out, 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 out. Okay, yay, you want to hear it. Okay, it's really rough. I like just recorded it. I don't know where. I think it's coming out of my iPad, so I feel like if I hold it somewhere over here, you should hear it. Um, you're welcome to judge me, but I don't really care what you think. Um, it's not edited. I haven't even heard. I just exported it to see if it sounded normal. It's only half done. Hold on, let me see if I can play it. I can see the light in front of me, like the wind it brings me to the music's loud. The stars it brings me back to you. Feels like a day. I met you in the pouring rain. My heart was flying like a plane. Forgetting all the pain and last that I was running from my head. And now I see the stars. I can see the stars, I can hear the cars, I can feel the rain running from my heart. I can see the stars, I can feel my heart, I can see the light going back to the start. How was I supposed to know that you were there for me? How was I supposed to know that I would let you be free? How was I supposed to know that you were there for me? How was I supposed to know that you were there for me? And I see the stars, I see the stars in you. And now I see the stars, I see the stars in you. Okay, I'm gonna pause it there because I'm not done yet. But I did this morning in like 45 minutes. Yay! Oh my gosh, yes. It's a good song. My daughter is telling out because she heard it. Yay! That makes me so excited. Yeah, I'm almost done, and then I'm gonna give it to a producer of mine to kind of edit and make it sound all nice. I was just vibing this morning because the song has been stuck in my head, and Spirit basically like slapped me out of the universe last night and was like, "Finish it!" I was like, "Okay." Yay, you want to dance to it? It's so amazing. It's beautiful. I can feel the energy. I'm also a musician. Fun! I love me some musicians. It sounds like it should be on a montage of a really awesome anime. Do you know how much I love anime? This is the music I play in the shower when I'm feeling down. Oh, that makes me feel so good. Yeah, I wanted it to be just like light and fun and kind of airy because I'm also making another song that's more like it's like a middle finger to the system, basically. Um, so I was like, I need to balance this energy out, but I just wanted to be like fun and you feel good and you're happy and you can just play it and vibe out. Maybe put your skates on or, misread, you could float down the river to it. I'm so glad you all love it. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Um, I missed this comment. You're welcome to judge me, but I don't care what y'all think. I absolutely love that. Thanks. You just gotta get you know what I mean? Just like get used to it. I remember in one of my yoga sessions, someone got so turned off because I was like, oh, I'm like sending a feedback form. You're welcome to fill it out. And then I was like, um, and just so I was like saying like if you have any suggestions, I was like, but let's be clear, even if you give a suggestion doesn't mean I'm gonna follow it because I don't really care. And someone was like, eh. I was like, what? Thanks. Oh my gosh, yes, skating song, an Epic System song. Yeah. My other one's like completely different. And it's been a track that I've been trying to finish for the longest time, but my energy was like not there. Um, and then I like bounce between that and my song for Palestine, which I might actually record it later, but technically I put it on my phone as a voice memo. So I haven't listened to it yet, but I was like thinking it's 5 minutes long. It was one of those like I was sitting with my guitar and I was like, I'm just in the 60s kind of vibes, like 70s, and just kind of let it play, like sing whatever, but I hadn't listened to it, so I'm probably gonna um listen to it today and I might just, if the audio is okay, I might just use that and just let it out. Just let it out because I feel like it needs to be out. But I had channeled it when I was first in Charlotte, when I got my first guitar. And I was like sitting in the sun, and I just was so sad because I'm a photographer, so I was out at a march for Palestine. I had taken a bunch of photos, and then I just needed to like process it, and I just grabbed my guitar and it was singing, and then it like started to come back to me. But then I hit hardship and stuff like that, so I had to sell my guitar, and then recently, as I mentioned on one of the lives, this guitar came to me. And so then I could finish it. Um, uh, my fave is Falling Into Love. I do love that song, and Track from Rock Nation edited that one. But my friend Zaza like did the foundations basically for it, and she's amazing. But Track really edited it. Like that was my first song too. It was the first one I channeled by the river. And I could hear it, and it was like playing loud in my head, and I was like, "How the do I create this?" And Spirit was like, "Write it down." And I just kept singing it and I sing it, and I was holding on to it for months, but I didn't know how to record. I didn't have money, like anything, and I didn't fully record the song until I got to Charlotte. Because I needed to feel like I needed a home. I needed a home, and I had built in one of the closets my own studio because my friend at the time was like helping to fund my business, and I had like put up all my padding and then did all the things, and I was like, I'm gonna record this song, and I finally recorded it, and then all of a sudden I met Zaza, and it was actually kind of it like this is how the universe works. I was on a music call with a coach that I had randomly signed up with who connected me to Rock Nation and Track. And then on that call, Zaza was on that call and she was new and was thinking about joining. And then I just like looked at their photo and I just felt like I had to talk to them. But I didn't say anything. And then we got off the call and I immediately got a message from her and she was like, "Hey," I was like, here we go. Um, and so then we started talking, and I had then already started recording my song, and then I sent it to her, but we like agreed. Like I was like, "Oh, I can record it and then you can do all the things." And she did not like the way it sounded, like cuz I don't know how to record anything. Um and then I met with my other coach and she was like, "Z, I see you going to a recording studio in LA." And I was like, "Cool, when's that gonna happen?" And then Zaza messaged me the next day and she was like, "Hey, you should come to my studio in LA." And I was like, "Great, I'll see you there." And that's how we made that song. And there's that video of me with like the colorful clouds. That was her studio. That was my first one. Definitely was dope. Yeah. Yes, I was just bobbing and bouncing. It's very uplifting. Yeah, I just want it to be something fun and easy. I'm definitely like a festival vibes, and I also feel like I love working with other producers because they hear things differently, and so I basically like to like have the foundations of it, and I'll do all the other things, and then they just kind of do their magic. Like I don't really care. I'm not the type to be like, I don't want it to sound like that. Like I'm the type to be like, I do what I do, you do what you do, and then we just magic. Love it. And the story, what inspired this song? Um, um, oh wow. Isn't that awkward? No. So, um, it was around the time that I realized that I had feelings for someone. And it like was very spiritual and I kept getting visions about it. And so then I just started to sing um what I was singing, but it was actually love. Like it was literally the feeling of love made that song. Both songs were like falling into love was about someone. But it was all like there's like subtle hints of it being a breakup song, but I cut it out. I cut out that part. But I want to extend it. But this one was also about love. It was like an awakening basically. And yeah, I never told them how I felt. I never told them how I felt, and so I put it into a song. I'm feeling like I write a lot of love songs now that I'm thinking about it, because Straight to You is also a love song. And this one, it's like because basically the lyrics are, I can see the light in front of me, like the wind, it brings me to the moon, like the earth, it sends me to the sky, like the stars, it brings me back to you. Um, it was this feeling of it being like really cosmic, like all of you know during a spiritual awakening, like you have no clue where you're going. You just know that you feel really good. And when you finally tap into like a spiritual love, it like makes everything kind of distorted and makes no sense, but it just feels amazing. And then the next lyric is, and it feels like the day I met you in the pouring rain, because I kept getting visions of like meeting someone in the rain. And then Spirit kept showing me, from The Office, there's like that scene where like I think Pam's at the gas station, and then her partner, like they end up meeting in the rain. And I just kept seeing that, and I kept seeing clips of other films, and I was like, what is this? And then the next lyric is my heart was flying like a plane. Because I love planes. Forgetting all the pain at last, and I was running from my past. So it was like I felt when I got all those visions, I was really moving on, like I could finally let go. It was like spirit like woke me up and was like, no more past love. And then I started getting visions about this person. And then the next lyric is, and now I see the stars. And it goes, I can see the stars, I can hear the cars, of just like that like cosmic feeling of your energy radiating out of you. So I can see the stars, I can hear the cars, I can feel the rain. Um, running from my heart. So, like a flow of emotion. I can see the stars. I can feel my heart. I can see the line going back to start. So, like, it being like a fresh start in love and just that cleansing, like we were talking about water, that cleansing, and just I love stars and just like being consumed with all that feeling. And then the next lyric was, how was I supposed to know that you were there for me, of like realizing that I was missing out on this connection, but also I kind of chose not to see the person when it came down to it. When it came down to it, their energy was always there, but I was mistaking it for other things, and I was also mistaking the person as well. And I realized who they were. And then I'm not done writing it, but the next lines are, in the final two lines are, I can only imagine right in front of me, you there but scared, now running back to me. And so it was like realizing what they were going through as well. So yeah, that was a long-winded story of what kind of inspired this song, but love mostly. But I figured I would share those lyrics. Because I also feel like sometimes when you feel or when you hear a song, you don't always connect with it right away, right? Like it's like oh, or like very similar when I would go to film festivals because our company would sponsor them in Santa Barbara. And it was when Wakanda had come out, and you're hearing the music and you love it and you're so ignited. But then, like, my favorite was going to all um the side events and hearing, the people talk about, because we would get a bunch of tickets, like people talking about how they created the wardrobe, where they traveled, what it meant to them, why they did it, um, how it resonated with their family and what they were really wanting to bring. And so thank you for asking me because I feel like I need to do that more. Um, and also I loved Falling Into Love because it was my first song that I like really put myself out there. I really put myself out there and I really put myself out there for that competition for Gwen Stefani, and that was the song I led with, and that was the song, that was playing for the iHeartRadio thing. Um and so, yeah, it was like really vulnerable and fun all at the same time. And so, like, I always try to listen to music when I hear it, like, not from the place of like, oh, yeah, like this kind of makes me feel good. Like, I try and I like, which I need to fix because my platform isn't uploading my lyrics. I try to look at the lyrics or like look up stuff on why they made it because there's always something. There's literally always something. And then sometimes there's not. Like, I was watching this video. It was what's his name? Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars, and he was joking. He was and he made a video about it. He was like, "For this song, I stood on my balcony and I dramatically like he had his notepad and paper and he's like, I wrote the lyrics and then the song was done." And I was like, cool. And then sometimes there's things like that, right? And you don't realize it's gonna be really good. It's really beautiful how the universe works through us. The song is amazing. I'm excited to hear it. I feel like everyone connects to songs in different ways. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Yeah, the universe is magical. It's so fun. I love creating with the universe because every song that I've had, I can hear it. Like I can just hear it. Um, and also I pray before each song of like, Spirit, let me hear what I can't hear yet, like, and I'll just play a song and maybe my mind tells me I'm stuck, right? My mind tells me, "Oh, I'm so stuck. I can't figure out these lyrics or I can't figure that out." And then I'm like, "I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck." And then I just open my mouth. Like it's a matter of just opening my mouth and then it just comes out. It just comes out. Um, but I'll sit there and I'll be like, "Ugh." And one time I put on a track because I was like, "I'm gonna rap today." It's like, whatever, I put on a track and it just was like all out of my mouth. I was like, this is so cool. Too bad I didn't record it. The universe is magical. Like the original meaning may be something, but the way each person relates is unique. Yeah. And that's what I love about music and creating. Yeah. It's like looking at art in a museum, right? Everybody sees and experiences it so differently. And I feel like when you make a song, it's and you're spiritual too, like you're naturally connected to the collective. And so you piece, it's almost like you pull on all these different energies and you put it into a song, and then all those different energies from all those different people, it finds them when it's meant to. That's how I kind of see it. And you're like weaving it together. But it's a really, really, yeah, magical process. And again, I thank you for asking. Um, and thanks everybody for listening. And I will get on that grief session. I'm about to head out because I am going to cycle class. And tonight, Mango Man Manifestations drops chapter 1, which I'm pumped about. Hey, beautiful souls heading out, but just wanted to say hi. Hi, Zawadi. Zawadi also let me keep her audio up on the last live, so I'm really excited about it. Zawadi. Zawadi's love stories. Yeah, so I'm gonna close out, but I'm sending you all so much love, and just remember, radically loving yourself and your creativity really starts with you working on your self-worth and holding that close to you and your connection to God and the universe, or whatever your verbiage is. For me, it's God, spirit. I use all of them interchangeably, but mostly God. Like, I can't do this without God. And it's like God that also gives me the strength to believe in myself and to create no matter what. No matter what. And, anytime you are creating or you feel scared to show who you are, do it for yourself. Just do it for yourself. That's what I tell myself. If I get nervous in front of a mic, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing poetry live for the first time, and I was like, I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for myself. Um, I do it for myself too. So when you're on your journey, just do it for yourself, and your creativity will begin to flow. And that's the biggest sign of self-love, is when you can still prioritize yourself, right? Like, yes, we are there to help humanity, but when we tap into our own emotions of love, that is felt so much more deeply than anything else in this world. You're so amazing and helpful. Thank you so much for everything. Absolutely. I'm happy to be here. Hello, Benita. Yay! I don't know if you heard it. I played the song if you were there. But you can rewind the live and listen to my new song. It's really raw. It's not done yet, but I shared it. I love that you said that about music will find people when they need it, because over the past 4 years, music has found me when I needed it, like certain songs. Yeah, it always finds you when the time comes. It's energy, right? It's also on the path. I'm cheering you on with poetry. Thank you. I told my friend, I was like, I'm just gonna have my words on a notebook. And she was like, that's fine. I was like, great, because I don't have the energy. I don't care. I'm doing it for me, not for them. um, so I'm sending you all lots of love, lots of hugs. I'm gonna get going, and I can't wait to share that song with you. Again, subscribe to my Substack. It's going to be a part of my link tree if you want to be notified about the Mango Men and other manifestations, which is going to be funny. And then sometime this weekend, I'm going to be live to play Fact or Fiction on chapter 1, so then y'all can guess whether that story was real or whether it was made up. It'll be fun. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you later.